Oh, I remember to press the go live button this time, boys. What's going on, everybody? 2 p.m. on the stream today rather than 6 p.m. Turns out my energy levels are way freaking higher. And I actually remember to hit go live this time. So we should actually get some viewers starting up. Hello, everybody. What's going on? Dana, Shane Young, back in the fold. Davis Roberson. What's going on, everybody? Got a good show for you today. Let's flip over to the main. Here we go. Ooh, I love this view. Just the most cursed, stupid view ever. We'll let people roll in as we warm things up here a little bit. Derek says to please bring back the Yamcast. I would have a lot of fun with the Yamcast if we brought it back. This is kind of like my sort of new version of the Yamcast, something kind of live and more fun and all that stuff. Gustav asks, are you Brazilian? I am. I've answered that many times. Born there, spoke Portuguese my whole upbringing at home, so it was a good time. What's up, everybody? Letting people stream in here. It's a lot of fun. Shane says, glad you remember me. I have a weirdly good memory. My wife always says that I should have had some sort of sales career because, like, I meet somebody and I just, like, remember 3 facts about them randomly. This is just a quick aside. We're having the windows finished on our house, and I spoke to the window salesman one time, and I remembered he was from Marfa, that he had a kid, his first and last name. It's a weird, like, you know, borderline neurodivergent talent that I have. I don't know why I have that. Sly time, what's going on? My wife, Matthew, me and my wife. What's up, boys? So we're just gonna hang out here for a little bit, couple of minutes, letting people jump in on the stream. If you got some questions for me, I will answer for them. Then we got a good show for you today, as evidenced by the beautiful slideshow I have prepared that our producer Logan set up for us. We got some good stuff to go for you guys here. But of course, oh my God, Tri-Prank says Trump 2024. Get out of here with that. Disgusting. We don't talk politics here, but we certainly don't talk about that guy. Discord. If y'all didn't know, this is the main thing that we do here, boys. I love the Discord server. I really do. It's a lot of fun. We got all the boys in here, the live stream submissions. If you want to join up on here, add some new stuff to the stream, this is where we do it. Yeah, this is just a really great time. So if you've ever been curious about joining YammieNoob.co, you wonder what am I going to get? What's it going to be like? This is like a bike night that never ends. This is some good stuff right here. I have a lot of fun with this, answering the boys' questions here. There's always the usual suspects. This guy, Maka with the Ninja 500 40th edition. He has been so on the stream lately, so on the Discord, it's been out of control. I think I talked shit about the Ninja 500 in some video. He came at me sideways. He was like, you're wrong. You got to know about the Ninja 500. He told me it's worth the money, blah, blah, blah. So people are vehement. They're really, into the Discord. I have a lot of fun. I'm on there every day. So if you want to hang out with me, that's definitely the way to do it. Yeah, bike night that never ends, boys. Go back here on the main. There we go. What are you guys saying here? All right, answer this guy's question. ACD Burn. I need to propose and get a bike this year. Any bikes that come with an engagement ring also. Not to my knowledge. I need to come with a nice engagement ring. And I also feel like any brand, I bet you Harley Davidson can get you an engagement ring. I bet you we can get an engagement ring for a Harley Davidson. Sanyuchi, thank you for the donation. Papa Yams, could you please make an in-depth video on trail braking with the video of your throttle hand? I just can't seem to get it without a visual guide. I feel like there's a guy, I feel like he's made like 19 trail braking videos. I think his username is Canyon Chasers or Chasing Canyons. He's a guy in Colorado. He's got a Multistrada V4. Again, weird facts that I remember. He's done like so many trail braking videos. I can almost guarantee you he's got a good one. But if you'll want, I can put a 360 camera and show you the inputs. It's pretty straightforward. It's like you give a little bit of pressure and then you bleed off. It's so much less than you think, and you can get the bike stopped for a really good amount of time. So I'll let you know there. Ashraf asks, any thoughts about the 675 SRR? I think that's the CF Moto one. None yet. I think we don't really know quite yet what that bike's going to look like, so I'm kind of waiting to see. Dawson asks a good question. Any plans to ride the Daytona 660? I'm actually going to talk about that on the stream because I did a whole review on it. It's coming out next week, if I remember correctly. Cody says, Papa, yeah, I'm about to buy a V2, and I'm so excited. Congratulations. That is a spicy meatball of a bike. It's got a really nice pointy front end. It works really well on track. Yeah, really, really sweet bike. Walker says, people who ride need to start remembering the saying, as long as your knees are in the breeze, and stop thinking there's a difference between rider types. I agree. You know, if you're just riding, you know, 2 wheels is better than 4, right? 2 wheels moves the soul, 4 wheels moves the body. So I agree. But come on, we're gonna make fun of people, right? That's the whole thing. Okay, Nicho. Yammie, have you ridden in Spain? I sure have. I got the chance to ride in on the Jerez racetrack in 2019. Circuito Angel Nieto in Jerez. It was amazing. I couldn't believe I was there. It was a Bridgestone tire event. I've talked about it a few times. Oh my God, it was like the greatest day of my life to be there. I would kill to go back. Spain has amazing riding. Procon asks, what's your thoughts on KTM reliability? Oh man, we have a whole video coming out in a couple of weeks talking about the entire KTM cam saga, the cams exploding, the 790, 890 platforms blowing up. We're doing some preliminary research on that topic right now. Gonna have a great video for you guys because that story is way deeper than you think. There's like 10,000 cases of these 790 engines blowing up apparently on a Facebook page. So yeah, lots to say about that. KW says, hello, new guy here. What's up, new guy? Untapped TV. Hey man, love the content. I'm new to the culture and your vids are very helpful. I'm looking at an MT-07 because of some reviews on it. That's a great bike. I mean, it's like, I think the MT-07 is one of the best bikes ever, basically. You can do anything with it. It's like the new generation SV650 and they're super bulletproof. So I highly recommend. All right, boys, we're going to hang out here for a couple more minutes, and then we are going to jump into the slideshow, jump into the live stream. We got a lot to cover, and I'm very, very excited. But feel free to chime in on the chat over here. I will be checking it as I go. So if you have something to tell me, hopefully I can see it. I think the way this works is if you do a highlight or a donation, it pins to the top, and I can read it a little more easy. So that might be a way that you want to do it so that I can see it. Because I'm a little new to this whole live streaming thing, so if I do it weird, cut me some slack, please. Michael Brown, how do you feel about the Triumph Speed 400? Lots to say. I've got a review coming out in 2 weeks' time. I still have to film it, but I've got my initial thoughts on paper, and I've ridden the bike. It's super impressive. It's really impressive what Triumph's done at the price point that they're selling that bike at. It still feels like a Triumph, which is really cool. And, I mean, you can't ask for much more than that. It's under $5,000. It's like, it's so good. I can't wait to do the full ride and review with it, but it's really, really exciting. Oh, we got a crazy question here. Should I put nitrous on my Street Fighter V4 SP2? I don't think you should, first of all, but if you do, please film it and put it on YouTube because I'd love to see it. I don't think that engine will very much like having nitrous. But hey, if you want to do it, you know, show us what happens. Dawson says, can't wait to hear your thoughts on the 660. Yeah, it's a really interesting bike. I had a lot of fun with the review. I hope you don't get mad at me because I did say some spicy stuff, but it's couched in the fact that it's like an emotional and a logical review. Boys, what do you say we get started with the show, shall we? Let's go picture-in-picture. Let's go over to our slideshow, and let's have some fun, shall we? Go picture-in-picture here. Looking good. Yammie Noob live stream. Let's hit it, boys. All right, so what's new with me? because I like to start you guys off giving you some behind the scenes. If you're tuning in for a live stream, I feel like you're a real fan, so I really do appreciate it. I'm doing a dedicated review on the Hog Blaster. If you watched the last stream, producer Logan sent me as part of the mystery box the Hog Blaster. This was a really fun, really bizarre item. If you want to go back and watch on that live stream, if you haven't seen it, it's like a $150 like branded Harley Davidson little leaf blower thing. So I think as a bit of a shit post, we're going to take the Hog Blaster and make an entire review of it. I think I'm going to have a lot of fun doing that. So setting that up, be on the lookout for a dedicated Hog Blaster review. If you guys have any ideas for what I should do with the Hog Blaster, let me know. I'm already thinking like I'm going to try to blow leaves with it. I'm going to try to clean my keyboard with it, maybe dry my dog with it. I just want to do everything I can with the Hog Blaster. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. We also have, as I mentioned to Dawson here on the chat, the Daytona 660 full ride and review coming next week. I believe next Tuesday that video drops. I'm really, really excited. I worked super hard on that. I rode the bike a ton. I didn't just do, because like sometimes with these bikes, if I don't have much time, I kind of just jump on and get an initial impression and kind of get a quick rundown. I spent a lot of time with the Daytona 660. I think I put about 150 miles on it. I did several rides with it, and I did this like logical and emotional review with it. Really excited to show you guys that. Had a lot of fun with it. For those of you who mourn the death of the 600 class motorcycle, this is going to be a lot of fun for you to check out. And then we also have my new personal motorcycle is on the horizon. I'm finalizing some things. We're getting some things locked down and making sure that, we have some things lined up. But stay tuned. Watch this space. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we get this over the finish line and your Papa Yam has himself a new personal motorcycle. I've mentioned on the Discord what I'm going to be looking into, so yeah, keep your eyes peeled. All right, with all that being said, let's start with the rider questions answered. Some of these are from Instagram, some of these are from Discord. If you have any questions for me, always feel free to drop them here on the live stream. You can also go on to yammie-noob.co, become a member, join on the Discord, and then you can ask me questions there, and I try to answer them virtually every day. I get questions all the time. So let's get started. Sumit2014 on Instagram asks, why are new bikes getting softer and softer, less aggressive, and sport? So I think we're seeing a sort of bifurcation, right? We're like, we used to sell homologated race bikes for the street, and everybody thought they were great. The late 2000s, everybody had lots of credit and ability to get credit and buy these motorcycles. And I think the world has changed a lot since then, right? Making the case for a super sport motorcycle in somebody's garage nowadays, if you're not actually tracking the machine, doesn't make a lot of sense. Most people think that it's like, oh, why would I really do that, And so we're seeing cheaper bikes, and by definition, when a bike is cheaper, it's a little bit more soft, a little bit more amenable. The power band isn't as peaky, not as crazy, and more people are going to buy it because we've seen the super sport category decline over time. So I think that's why we're seeing bikes get softer and softer. But on the other end of the spectrum, the super high-end stuff, the Fire Blades, the Ducati Panigales, the BMWs, you're seeing crazier and crazier and crazier motorcycles in that realm because they're trying to compete in World Superbike, which is still a very active, very competitive racing series. If you guys are catching up on it right now, and you should, Toprak Razgatlioglu is doing some insane stuff on the BMW S1000RR. I think he's had 4 hat-trick weekends, which means he's won every single race for 4 weekends in a row. I think he has 13 victories in a row on the BMW, which if you had told me that last year, I would have laughed in your face. But the dude's a magician. It's crazy. So those bikes are getting more hardcore. They make more peak power. They're more aggressive to ride. They're more expensive. But the everyday bikes are getting softer, more normal because they want to sell more of them. So I hope that answers your question, Sumit. All right. Duvkey31 asks, how do I deal with people asking me when I'm upgrading from my Ninja 300? I'm not. I love it. I think the best way to deal with these people, if you're in like a group ride or something, is to freaking pass them on the twisties or keep up with them and just hog them on their rear wheel in a fun way, right? Don't ride dangerously. But the way you show people that you're not upgrading from your Ninja 300 is by riding it really, really well. Because honestly, if you love the bike and you don't feel like upgrading it, don't upgrade. I am super anti-consumerist when it comes to that sort of thing. I really don't think that we need to buy as many things as we think we need to buy and all that sort of thing. So if you love your bike and you want to keep it, just keep it. And if someone asks you when you're going to upgrade, ask them when they're going to downgrade, because you can keep up with them on the twisties. That's the best way to respond. All right, next question. HGGB asks, the best non-cruiser, non-touring, non-five-figured fun bike for two-up riding. Boy, I'm not sure if I'm the best person to answer this question, but let me comb through in the corners of my mind what this motorcycle might be. Chat, if you have any recommendations for HGGB here, please let me know. A non-cruiser, non-touring, non-five-figure bike. We're going to have to go in the used category to not have it be five figures. If it's non-cruiser, non-touring, an ADV bike might work pretty well. And non-five figures, honestly, I'm kind of thinking a V-Strom 1050, the old school V-Strom with the bigger V-twin. Because you could do a V-Strom 650 from a few years back, but for two-up riding, not going to be that great. They may have made a V-Strom 1050 with 17s front and rear, if memory serves me correctly. They might have made a sport touring version of it. Alex here on chat recommends a used Goldwing. That is a touring motorcycle, so I don't think we're considering those. But I do think a V-Strom is your best bet because it has a torquey, fun V-twin engine. It technically isn't a touring bike. It's more of an adventure sport touring bike. And it certainly won't cost five figures. If you're spending more than five figures on a V-Strom 1050, you're doing something wrong. So that would be my bet. Chris on chat also says Africa Twin. That's a good one, honestly. And you can get those for pretty cheap and almost brand new. I bet you could find a 2-year-old Africa Twin for like $8,000, and that would be perfect too. But again, it is more of an adventure bike. It's a little bit big, but if you're trying to go two-up riding, that's probably what I would do as well. Tyson Dit TV, or Tysonudivit, that's tough to say. Sorry if I butchered your username. Dude on a bagger flew past me in my own lane. Was I right to be upset, or is that normal? Not really. Usually it's pretty passe to pass close in your own lane if you don't know the riders you're with. If you're on a group ride, you know your buddy, you're just, riding fast right next to him. If you know each other really well, I wouldn't say there's an issue with that. But if it's like someone you don't know and they just flew past you in your own lane, not super cool to do. There's plenty of room usually. If it was in like a twisty set of roads, that's really not cool. I would be very upset at that rider. But if you're on a highway, it's a little bit more excusable. But sometimes people do that, and I would be a little upset too. Usually you'd want to get over to the other lane, or at least lane filter past the person. I like to give at least 2 to 3 bike lengths of lateral distance for any rider I'm going to pass. That's just because I come from the kind of track day and racing world, where I give people lots of room, man. Unless we're bumping bars and racing, then I like to get up close, right? That's what you're supposed to do. But yeah, you should give people lots of space. There really should be no need to pass that closely on street. All right, Luca asks, recommendations for bikes to consider for a 47-year-old new rider that has to ride on DFW freeways non-sports. Okay, this is super specific. I love these answers and chats for here. A 47-year-old newer rider that has to ride on DFW freeways and doesn't want to do a sport bike. I mean, again, I hate to do it to him, but I think a middleweight adventure bike would be your best bet. And here's why. Even though you're 47 and you're like way more mature, you're probably not going to do anything silly and dumb on a motorcycle. Having a lot of power is going to feel not so great, right? But I think getting a Tenere 700 with some wind protection could be nice, right? That's not a sport bike, and it'll be nice and upright so you can cruise on the freeways, no problem with the motorcycle like that. If you're okay with cruiser touring type of motorcycles, and again, I don't know your budget either, but I think what is it, the Indian Challenger, I want to say, the big one, that's kind of cool. You could also go so if you don't want to do sports, we have to do ADV or something cruiser adjacent, because I was going to say a sport touring bike, but that doesn't make sense either. Lou on chat here says street triple with the gel seat. Hey, that's pretty cool too. Honestly, you'd be surprised if you don't really want like wind protection, because it's not, unless you're doing like hundreds of miles on the freeway. I personally don't think it's that big a deal. I've had the MT-09 SP as a giveaway bike for a while now, and I did tons of highway miles on that bike. You hit cruise control, it's totally fine. I could sit on that bike for 3 hours and it's perfectly okay. But you said non-sports, so that would be my recommendation there for you. Tarnished Squid asks, best street tires if you're a street Rossi. So this is my sort of unpopular opinion, but 99% of street riders do not benefit from hypersport tires. Yes, they look cool on the bike because they look like track day tires, and especially the Pirelli, it's got the lightning, siping stripe on it. But honestly, if you're a street Rossi, just get a sport touring tire. It really doesn't matter if you have a Panigale or Trident 660. A sport touring tire is the thing that's going to work best on street. And here's why. It's got excellent wet weather dispersion. It has extra silica in the tire so that it actually grips in wet weather too. It's got great longevity, usually different compounds on the sides of the tire versus the center of the tire. So if you're slapping it up on the highway, you won't have the tire sort of round off, What you see a lot with super squids is like hypersport tires that have a very pronounced V shape, but then because they spend a lot of time on the highway, it's like a V and then it just goes flat right there. And they just don't last as long. A sport touring tire can last 3 times as long as a hypersport tire. So I would say Michelin Pilot Road 6, call it a day. That's a perfect tire. That's what I would put on a street bike that I'm just being, dumb street Rossi stuff with. And I would laugh all the way to the bank knowing that I got 10,000 miles good to go on the back of my bike and no problem. Taylor asks, a beginner rider question, how to get comfortable at higher speeds when starting out. So I actually just put out a great video on this of like how to acclimate to highway speeds and get comfortable. But basically what you're going to want to do, in my opinion, is stick on a feeder road to a highway, merge onto the highway, get comfortable at that 50, 60 mile per hour, and then just merge off the highway. And just do that, but just increase the speed incrementally. Make it up to 62, get off. Go back on, make it up to 65, get off. Go back on, make it up to 70, go off, so on and so forth. So it's really an incremental game when it comes to getting more comfortable with higher speeds. Now, if you're on a beginner bike that it's limited to maybe like 70 or 80 miles per hour, it's going to feel a little breathless getting up there anyways. So recognize that if you get a faster bike, it's easier to do those speeds. And honestly, there's bikes like an extreme example is a Hayabusa, right? Where like doing 120 on a Hayabusa feels like 50 miles per hour on a Ninja 400. So, it depends on the motorcycle there too, but just incrementally building up speed, definitely going to be your best bet. Okay, ASOM on Discord, why 500cc and not 400cc? What are manufacturers accomplishing? Sort of an existential question, like what are we doing? What are we solving for here? And I actually think this is a great question because all that's really happened is 2 things. Number one, it's the marketing wars, right? This has started from the early 2010s when Honda came out with the 300 versus the 250 and the Ninja, and then it was the Ninja 300, and then the R3 came out, that was a 321cc, then we had the RC390, then the Ninja 400. Like, you see all these manufacturers responding to the displacement creep. And the other thing that's happened is emissions control in A2 compliant markets where you can get away with creating a similar level of power and choking an engine by increasing the displacement. There's lots of sort of thermodynamic reasons for that I won't get into here, but basically all it comes down to is like the hydrocarbons that are coming out of the exhaust. If you have a bigger engine, you can get away with making similar power by choking it and making it not as making as much power. And also on the fact that you make an engine that has a longer stroke, it's a little less stressed out, and it should, in theory, last a little bit longer if it's not revving as high, not being utilized as much. So that's kind of why we've seen this 500 creep. I really don't know where we go from here. It kind of feels like we're at the peak. I can't really see a world in which we have 600cc parallel twin Ninja 600s that are beginner bikes. Like at some point you got to ask yourself, like, what are we really doing? You know? So yeah, that's my opinion there. All right, next, Super Buttery V. Seriously considering an R7 for a second bike, but I see lots of videos calling it a beginner bike, ? So this is definitely something that's more of an American market problem, where you see people say like, oh, that's a parallel twin, makes 75 horse, that's a girl's bike, that's a beginner's bike. But in reality, it's not really a beginner bike. So that's why on Yammie Noob, we say that it's sort of this beginner plus motorcycle, right? It's a bike that you can get if you're a beginner, if you're responsible, and you really will grow into it because it does make a lot of torque. It makes a good amount of power. And I personally don't feel super comfortable putting people on a bike like that as a first motorcycle unless they really are older and a little bit more conscientious of the risk, right? But I wouldn't worry about, people saying that it's a beginner bike. If you want to upgrade to an R7, let's say you're on an R3 or Ninja 400, that's a great upgrade. It's a bit of a smaller upgrade incrementally, but I think it's a great place to keep growing your skill sets and like taking your time with it. There's really no reason to rush the power progression. We had a guy on Discord. I hope he's alive, and if he's watching, please let me know. He had a Ninja 400 and he decided to jump to a Panigale V4. We all told him it was suicide. I was like, that's a really bad idea. There's really no reason to do that. So take your time. Go from the beginner bike to the R7 to then hopefully we get an R9 or a street triple. And then if you really want, go for a leader bike. But, there's really no need to rush it. And an R7 really isn't a beginner bike. Noah Sensinig asks, why did you give up on wheelies? I gave up on wheelies because I don't have a bike that I feel comfortable binning. I actually really want to buy a mini dirt bike or an actual mini bike like a Grom to literally just practice wheelies, because it really is the last frontier of my skill sets that I've never really practiced that much. So I haven't given up on wheelie. And Jixerbra, if you're watching somehow now or in the future, please show me the way again. I really want to get good at wheelies at some point, but it's not a super high priority. I think if I oriented my life around just getting good at wheelies, I think I'd have to ask myself a lot of questions in the mirror when I woke up in the morning. Ryan Scallon asks, what is your favorite motorcycle manufacturer and why? That's a tough one. And this might come as a shocker to you, but I gotta say Yamaha. I know, Yammie Noob started on a Yamaha. Shocker. Honestly, I love Yamahas because they're value-driven, which satisfies the cheap bastard in me. And the engines are so good. I think that's what really draws me to Yamaha. Is like, you got the cross-plane R1. Oh, so beautiful. You have the triple-cylinder MT09 SP. That's an awesome thing. The cross-plane parallel twin and the R7 and the MT07's fantastic. WR250, goated in the sauce. I just think there's so many great Yamahas, and I'm also just like a Valentino Rossi simp. That's who I grew up watching. He's my hero, all this stuff. So, yeah, Yamaha all day, every day. Triumph a very close second, though. Although I don't even own a Yamaha or a Triumph right now. I own a frickin' Ducati. So who knows? Near You Sai asks, what are your thoughts on big companies trying to build small single-cylinder bikes? I think it's great. The more bikes we have in the market that are cost-effective, simple to work on, and dead simple to ride and own, the more riders we're going to get in the marketplace. Excuse me. Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I think more companies should do this. But I think more companies are worried about devaluing their brand and devaluing how people perceive them. But it's like I said earlier, if we get to a point where we're getting Ninja 600s as beginner bikes that are A2 compliant and make 48 horsepower, that all of a sudden, and if they cost like $10,000, all of a sudden you open up a new category of like a Ninja 250 that has a single cylinder that's like $4,500. Now, KTM tried this with the Duke 200. I don't know why KTM thought that they could sell a Duke 200 in America, but they did it. They imported it and they tried to sell it. and it was an unmitigated disaster. Nobody wanted the Duke 200. It was too small, it was too cheap, it was too crappy to sell. So I think you have to sell minimum a 350 to a 400cc machine for Americans to be like, oh, okay, like I could do that. You know, a 200 just wouldn't work. But I think more companies should do it. All right, folks, that ends the Q&A portion of the live stream here. As a reminder, join over on YammieNoob.co. You'll join the Discord server. You'll get access to all this stuff. You can ask us questions on there, and you can be featured in the next segment we're going to talk about, which is the bike roast and boost. So let's head over to that right now, and let's just make sure we are, in fact, correct. And now we'll start with the bike roast and boost. We'll check in on chat over here. Vlogs by Joe says, R7 as a beginner bike is hilarious. As a brand spanking new rider that's only ridden MSF with that little Grom with 9 horsepower is plenty. Something with 5 to 6 times the horsepower seems like a recipe for death. Yeah, honestly, like that's what I tell people is like, go take an MSF and see what a motorcycle actually feels like before you have no experience and jump on a 75 horsepower bike. It's not a great idea. And also the R7 is very committed ergonomically, which makes it a little awkward to ride. Busa 300. That's funny. All right. So the bike roast or boost. I love doing this one. This is kind of like my version of it came from Facebook, but for the Discord boys. So let's see what we got first. Marky Mark, a classic. This guy, man, he's been around for a long time on Discord, and this Tenere 700 is probably the most abused Tenere 700 I've ever seen personally. So a 2021 Tenere 700, 41,000 miles. He did an iron butt, 1,100 miles at 16 hours. That's pretty impressive. Tail of the Dragon, Black Bear Pass, White Rim, Alpine Loop, Schofield. He did a pass at Bonneville Salt Flats, but only hit 105. He's on front rim number 3, but it should be number 5, to be honest. So let's take a look. Yep, that is truly an adventure boy if I ever did see it. And using the bike for what it was intended to be used for, which is good too. I love to see, that's a cool photo. That's the type of photo you take and you show your kids later. You're like, yeah, I was super cool when I was young. I think that's great, man. Yeah, this is what a Tenere 700 should be doing, and yeah, it's testament to Yamaha's build quality that you can ride 41,000 miles with this thing. Jesus Christ, that thing's loaded up. What are you, living out of the back of that thing? How many tents are on that thing, man? I see auxiliary tank. I see 2 giant packs over here, another pack, 2 helmets, so I guess you're riding 2 up, or you got a backup, a pod over here, one over. Oh my God, there's just a random boot right there. There's a lot going on. There's a giant rack over here. God bless you if you tip this thing over. You'll never pick it up. See, this looks more normal. 1 little bag, 1 helmet. Like, here we go. This is a good-looking bike. I love the white and red Tenere combo. That's a good-looking bike. You love to see it. Tenere people are usually nuts. And, yeah, it seems like this guy has really enjoyed his time in the sun. All right, Owl Citizen brings us a 2023 Moto Guzzi V7 Stone in Rosso Revente. 2,000 miles, bought in February. You're barely riding the thing, man. Nicked the paint on day 1 with my rock form mount before I realized that I would need some bar risers. Then I decided to mount it in the middle once the bar risers arrived. Also got new foot pegs because the stock ones are so squishy. Now I realize they are squishy to keep from buzzing your feet off. I hope SW Motec takes returns. So that's something to think about too with motorcycling is sometimes parts are squishy because they're reducing vibration, especially hard points like the foot pegs. That's a good-looking Moto Guzzi, though, man. This is, the V7 is kind of like Moto Guzzi's Sportster, in my opinion. Just that your classic, rumbly, lobbed from side to side Moto Guzzi thing. Moto Guzzi people, and I hope you don't take this the wrong way, Al Citizen, but they kind of feel like they're BMW GS people where they're like, bro, I think outside the box, bro. I bought a Moto Guzzi. I see the whole universe, bro. I think different, bro. Oh, look at this guy, the distinguished gentleman that he is. Suit. I mean, this is your classic. What do you call Guzzi people? Gugakistas? Guzzistas? Something like that. A happy little fellow with his half helmet. Little shoes right here, looking good. Yeah, I mean, it's a handsome bike, I will say. It's got the classic vibe to it. I like the little boots on the fork, the classic little ribbed for your pleasure boots. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm surprised that this thing actually has like, blades, the turn indicators that like actually look a little bit more modern. Yeah, looks pretty good. Got a tank bag on it. That's looking good. See, this is what I tell you guys. Put a tank bag on a bike. You can take it for like 300 miles, no problem. Any motorcycle, tank bag, it's a touring bike. You're done. That's it. It's beautiful. I do like this side bag you have. This like kind of worn leather side bag that fits the bike really well. That's cool. I like that. Especto Delito on Discord. A 2023 BMW GS Adventure. I take it everywhere. Expecto Delito, a mod on our server. Great guy, very active. Holy windshield, Batman! What the hell is that? That thing is like that thing is sky high. I'm sure it works really well. Basically, Goldwing spec. You don't feel wind at all. Has what looks to be a cooler on the back of the bike, and cages for days. The BMW GS Adventure, if memory serves me correctly, that's the one with the ginormous gas tank, right? That's the one that has like the 9-gallon tank or whatever, right? Yeah, that's a beast. Look at that thing. Looks like California. Pretty sure it is. SoCal area. Wonderful area of the world to ride in. Lots of great roads. I see maybe a comfort seat sort of thing. Nice luggage setup. Lots of accessories. I'm telling you, BMW GS people, they're built different, man. I don't know what it is with you people. And maybe I just need to... Here's the thing. I've spent a lot of time on a GS, and I still don't get it. I still come away from it just feeling cold and feeling like I really don't understand this bike. But I feel like maybe if I rented one and I spent like 1,200 miles with the BMW GS, maybe then I'd be like, okay, I get it. Maybe then I'd get it. I do like the sticker that says, ride fast, eat ass. That's what we all should be doing. Beautiful lineup here, enjoying the sunshine with the boys. That looks like a great ride out. Got a Tiger 900 on the back. Another GS photo right there. Looking good. Playing around in the most off-road extreme conditions I see. Taking your BMW Adventure GS to its limits on this sandy parking lot area. I'm just kidding. Come on. Cody on Discord. I just bought my 18 Ninja 400. I raced motocross for 5 years, and the Texas heat got to me. I was really leaning towards a Ninja 650, but budget-wise, I found a good deal on this 400 to 4K miles, and I really underestimated the power of it. Really? After owning it for 2 weeks, I do not regret my decision at all. So see, that I find really interesting. If you raced motocross for 5 years, I would have figured you'd be like, oh, this thing is, a joke, but... maybe you were racing like 125cc two-strokes or something, and the 400 just feels a little bit more beefy. Blanc here on chat says Suzuki. That really adds a lot to the conversation. Just kidding. This is a good-looking little Ninja. Looks like stock exhaust. Looks like a good deal on it. The 400s nowadays, because the 500s came out. Oh my God, you can get really good deals on them because everybody's like, oh my God, I need the 500. It's so much better. It's like the same freaking bike, and I'm gonna prove it. I'm going to buy a Ninja 500. I'm just to prove that it's not that great. Just continue my unholy crusade on the old Ninja 500 for some reason. I forgot that Kawasaki made this paint scheme. It's kind of cool. For some reason, Kawasaki takes the most risks with their paint schemes lately. Just like they'll put out red motorcycles. I feel like a red Kawasaki is the most cursed thing. There should not be any red Kawasaki's. Just like there should not be blue Hondas. I'm like, what is going on? We should not be doing these colors on these bikes. But this bike looks good. It looks like OEM tires. It looks pretty much OEM all around. So good job finding it. I bet you got a good deal on it, like you said. All right. John on Discord. 2019 Svart Pelin. Probably one of my favorite bikes I've owned. The first picture is a mannequin. My buddy and I put some gear on and strapped on the bike while taking it home. Let's take a look. Oh, that's so weird. That looks like a real human man. That probably got so many looks from people who were driving next to you on the highway, because I'm looking dead at that thing, and that just looks like a man riding the bike. That has to be a human. That's not the mannequin, right? This is a mannequin? It says that first picture is a mannequin. I don't believe you, man. That looks like I don't know. That's crazy if that is. I don't know where you found that thing. I don't know why it looks so realistic, but it's a little concerning. It's scaring me a little bit. the Sparklet's a good looking machine, isn't it? This is the 401, and we had one of these as a giveaway in 2020, 4 years ago now. And it's a good looking little bike. It's a fun motorcycle. It's peppy. It's capable. You can scramble a little bit with it. I honestly think that my videos reviewing this bike was a huge reason why so many of them sold, and I never got any compensation, accreditation, or acknowledgement from Husqvarna. But I really think I sold a lot of bikes for them. So if someone from Husky is listening, I want to, maybe you can shoot me over a 701 Enduro for free because I did such good work for you guys, But I really do think the bike is great. It's a good platform. It's a lot of fun. And look at the lines. Look at the futuristic vibe of the machine. That's a huge reason why people buy these bikes is because they look freaking cool. They just look cool, man. I think that so many people buy these bikes just literally based on the looks. Vinny, $10 here, $9.99, but no comment. Well, Vinny, I see you. I appreciate you, and thank you very much. Look at that. Svartpillen in its natural habitat, a little scrambly type of thing. You'll love to see it. Road Rage 810 on Discord says, living proof that the MT-07 will bring out the 12-year-old inner hooligan even in us 50 guys. I bought it new in 2022 as I'm too old and broken now and had to give up my sport bike. So that's awesome. A 50-year-old guy buying an MT-07 with the crash cages too. Let's go. He's popping nooners on that thing and loving life. He's got the Acura exhaust on it. Dude, hell yeah. That looks awesome. That looks like a blast. Yeah, that just looks like a perfect motorcycle to just jump on, do dumb wheelies with, and love life. Yeah, this guy's pulling stunts. You just know he's pulling mad dank nooners with this thing. Awesome. His license plate is wheelie, for God's sake. Come on, folks. Come on. Safety second. 50-year-old. This is what I'm telling you. You get motorcycles, you don't have to grow up. You can just still be that dumb kid. And that's how I feel every time I get on any motorcycle. I'm like, Can I slide the rear? Can I pop a wheelie? Like, how fast does it go? You just turn into an absolute child, and it's the best thing. Huddy on Discord has a 2005 Suzuki SV650 picked up after not riding for a couple of years, painted it. Not too happy with the paint, so we'll be repainting it this winter. Oh, that looks really good. Yeah, what year is this? A 2005? That's a good year. That looks really good. This reminds me of the SV650 that Josh had here on Yammie Noob. He had a red SV. His was not this generation, I don't think, but his was red at some point. These are great, dude. I mean, how can you not love an SV? They're so lovable. They're just like, you just do anything with them, jump on them, like, just go take the thing for a freaking ride. It's so lovable. Just a great platform. That's a good looking Ninja behind there. That looks like a mid-2000s ZX-10, maybe, I think, with the giant ram air. If memory serves correctly. It might not, because Kawasaki made a lot of different Ninjas in the mid-2000s, so even your sweet, humble Yam can't keep up with them sometimes. It's a good-looking bike, dude. It looks like the suspension was done by somebody, or maybe just a sticker. But honestly, I don't even think you need to repaint it. It looks really good. Pangu on Discord. Oh, another XSR900 boy. I picked up earlier this year, been dreaming about this bad boy since learning about it. Oh, just gorgeous. These are so good. I was blown away. You look like an XSR 900 person. You're doing it for the gram. You got the depth of field. You got the roller shots. I swear, all XSR 900 people are kind of the same, and I love it. They're just like slightly stylish hooligans. But I remember we got one of these in late 23, and it was this exact model. It was blue. It's so good. It works so well. It's not quite as dialed in as the MT-09 SP, which for me is the more sporty kind of guy. That's what I prefer. But they're so good, dude. These are so good. They work so well, and they're so handsome. And there's really nothing you can say. This pretty much perfected the Neo Retro bike, in my opinion. It looks really good. Looks really, really good. All right. RYAN on Discord. As a 2016 KTM Super Duke, engineers decided to stick the oil cooler out of the side of the bike, and it took a direct hit from a pebble. Oh no. And then it proceeded to spew 180-degree oil all over my foot, leg, and tire, which made for an interesting ride home. Leave it to KTM to have some oil problems, am I right? Ooh, that was it right there. I can't believe that thing just sticking out there like that. Yeah, oh my God, look at all the oil it spewed out of it. That's terrible. Ugh. Well, this, honestly, not to roast you too hard, but this just looks like a KTM in its natural habitat. Am I right, chat? That just looks like your run-of-the-mill KTM. Like, aren't they glazed with oil from the factory like that? Hey, look, it's not my fault. They freaking made the bikes blow up every once in a while and literally have a factory, you know, oil leak package. It's almost as bad as Harley Davidson, I swear. Oh, it's all over the exhaust, too. These are pretty, though, with the single-sided swing arm. Like, this, the 2016 is a good vintage for the Super Duke. It's a really, really nice bike. And those are the real oh, my God, that sucks. That's not going to clean up easy. They're the real animalistic ones. I wish we had a couple more photos of the rest of it, because it does look pretty damn good. Well, boys, that wraps up the member motorcycle portion of the live stream. So appreciate you guys checking that out. Again, if you want to submit your bikes, head over to yammie-noob.co and you can join up. Looks like Acid T9 dropped 10 pounds sterling. Thank you so much. Acid T9, thank you, says, good evening from the UK, Papa Yam. If you were to buy a CBR 650R, an MT09, or a Z900 for a weekend toy and casual ride, which would you buy? Love the videos. Thank you. Without a doubt, I would get an MT09. I just had one. I still have one as a giveaway bike right now. I have a 2023 MT09 SP. You don't need to get the SP. They're so good, dude. They're like, the new ones are so ridiculously good. They blow both of those bikes out of the water. The Z900 or the CBR 650R. I really think the MT09 is the one to get, especially this new edition. Like, it cruises really well on street. It can be a hooligan when you want it to be. It's got a super punchy 3-cylinder engine, and it's priced really well. So that would be my pick. Evo, $10 donation here. Thank you very much. Watching an old vid and a GSX S750 pulled up. You mentioned how solid and great of a bike it makes. Just picked one up for $4,600 with low miles, and I absolutely love it. First bike, but I'm experienced. Great deal. This is what I tell people about the GSX 750. I'm like, dude, nobody wants them. You know, nobody want them, and you can just literally pick them up for pennies on the dollar, and you're getting a great motorcycle. Like, Suzuki does not miss, dude. You can get a really good Suzuki for pennies on the dollar. Nandish CS, thank you for the $2 donation here. Says, do motorcycles need airbag backpack for safety? You don't need an airbag backpack for safety. Like, it's better to have if you want to wear and, you know, have protection. Like, I wear an airbag when I ride. I don't have the backpack one. I have the Alpine Stars Tech Air 5. I've been wearing it for about a year now. Haven't had to use it, thank God. But I don't think you need it, you know. I don't think you absolutely need it. Acid T9 says, thank you. You're welcome, my friend. All right, folks, let's move on to, I think, what is everybody's favorite part of the live stream. It's mystery box time. Let me get the mystery box. Okay, so producer Logan sent this over, and as some of you might know, I recently became a dad, and so we get a lot of boxes that show up at the house for random stuff, different bottles, formula, you know, diapers, stuff shows up at the house all the time. And this showed up, and I almost opened it, but then I saw on the label it said live stream, and I was like, oh my God, wait, I can't open it. So this is already pre-opened, but I don't know what it is. So we're about to find out what's in the box. He has a sick sense of humor, I swear, he really does. So here we have... It feels suspiciously helmet-like. I'm gonna crack this open. This certainly feels like a helmet. It's a half dome with padding. I'm concerned. Oh no. Oh no! Oh no, dude! Logan! God damn it, dude! Oh my God, it's like a leather half helmet. China special with goggles as well? All right, you know what has to happen now. Y'all know what has to happen now. Hold up. Hold on. What's in here? There's some sort of cleaning cloth. That's definitely gonna have asbestos in it. Oh, it's like a little neck gaiter. I'm not opening that. That's gonna have China sweat labor on it. So it's like a, I don't even know if it'll fit my head. My head's so freaking big. This is like some sort of Mad Max weird like Slipknot style helmet. God, the more of this crap that I'm gonna gather. What the hell is this? Is this a visor on it? Oh no, no way. No way, no way. Look at that. I gotta put it on. The more of this crap that I gather, it says it's old football helmet. Oh my God, this is just terrible. Yeah, there's like buttons on it for some reason. I'm gonna put it on though. Give me 1 sec. How you like me now? How you like me now? I look like I'm in World War I, baby. I need to keep my glasses on because I can't see. Oh my God, dude. My head's too big. Why? Okay. That's pretty good, dude. It feels really safe, you know? It feels like I got some pretty good safety measures on it. I wish I could read the chat, but I can't because my glasses are not on my head. Maybe I can... That's pretty good. Yeah, sure. All right. Shane says, charge the trenches. That's pretty good. All right. Yeah. Mystery box, baby. That'll work. Okay. We need to... Oh, my God. If I get the goggles off, then I can maybe see something. It's hard being blind. Oh, did I break it? No, it's good. Oh my God. Yeah, this is like football helmet meets Slipknot meets leather. Untapped says, you look like an 1800s pilot. This is so ridiculous. What bike would I even ride with this on, man? Like, what motorcycle makes sense with this? Marcus says, I bet it's DOT approved. I bet it is too, honestly. Yeah, it's not even like the old pilot ones were literally just like a leather like hat. I remember the old school like Isle of Man racers. They literally just had like, it was like a leather hat and that was their helmet. Just incredibly, incredibly dangerous. I think I saw a chat question. Oh, Shane asked, how many bathrooms does my house have? I have 2 bathrooms in my house. It's not a very big house. Welcome to Austin. Looks like a World War fighter pilot, a Royal Enfield, needs fur lining. I agree. Yeah, this is, yeah, it feels a little silly, but we're gonna finish up the stream with this because I do like it. Igbo asks, how do you wear your glasses in a helmet without it getting foggy? I actually wear contacts when I ride. I don't wear my glasses. It makes it a little bit easier. Bruce says, what did I just join into? The greatest stream you've ever seen. All right, boys. Wrapping this show up, we got motorcycle trivia. We're going to keep it to a nice, tight 1 hour here, boys. Let's have some fun. All right. The first question. What motorcycle is the #1 most sold... Oh my God, I can't read. What motorcycle is the #1 most sold motor vehicle in history? Bonus question, approximately how many units have been sold? I definitely think that it's the Honda Super Cub. It's a Honda Super Cub. That's my answer to the question. The bonus question, I think it's like 50 million, right? Something like that. Honda Super Cub. Okay, cool. I got it right. And then it says 110 million units of the Super Cub was sold. I guarantee you, like 80% of those are Thailand or, Vietnam or something like that, because that's absolutely where these would go. So, yeah, pretty sweet. Next question. In what year did President Ronald Reagan sign a presidential memorandum that imposed a 45% tariff on heavyweight motorcycles imported to the United States? Love this story, by the way. Harley Davidson said, please, we can't compete. Please, daddy government, please help us, please. And Reagan said, don't worry, I'll come save you. And then, yeah, Harley Davidson kept making shit motorcycles for like 40 years. I'm going to say it was 1982. Oh, I was off by 1 year. 1983. Boys, I was so close. Damn it. It was the helmet. It impeded my brain waves. I'm like half for two right now. I've almost got them correct. Oh my God. What was the deadliest year in Isle of Man TT history? Bonus question, what are the only two deathless years at the Isle of Man since 1937? Ooh, this is a dark question. I really hate the fact that people die like pretty much every year at the Isle of Man TT. I think the deadliest year was actually somewhat recent. I want to say it was like 2012 or 2006. One of those sounds correct to me. Chat saying 1982, 67. It could be maybe in the 80s, right? Because I feel like if the tech wasn't as good for like helmets and leather jackets and stuff, that could be, something. And then the only two deathless years, I actually think this recent year of 24, nobody died, if I remember correctly, because I caught up on the TT a while back over the summer. So I think 2024 was a deathless year. So that's so morbid to say. It was a deathless year, and then maybe just a random shot in the dark. 1997. I don't know. Let's see. Wow, that's a crazy photo. The deadliest year was 2005 when 11 people died. Oh my God. 3 riders and 1 marshal died during the June race, and 6 riders and 1 course bystander died during the Manx Grand Prix in August and September of 2005. That is way too many people. That's crazy. It makes me so sad hearing that marshals and bystanders died, man. Because they're not even. I mean, they are technically risking something by being that close to it, but that is so scary that even being a bystander is dangerous to observe it. But I mean, the mass majority of people are totally fine watching it. But yeah. Bonus question: 1982 and 2024. So I was right. Yeah, I knew this previous year nobody died, but the 82. That's surprising, honestly. As a child, what did Valentino race prior to motorcycles? Oh, I used to know this. God, can you believe his freaking Peter Pan haircut he had back in the day? He looks like Lord Farquaad, man. What did he race prior to motorcycles? You can't, don't say scooters, because that's like a motorcycle, right? What scooters feels somewhat correct. Could be karts, right? Karts feel like the thing. Yeah, unicycles, hot air balloon. I feel like go-karts is a pretty safe answer. Let's go with go-karts. Let's see. Go-karts, yeah. Rossi won the regional kart championship in 1990 and took 5th in the national championship in Parma. And that makes sense because he's racing like German touring cars right now, I think. Something like that. All right, former chief designer for BMW Motorrad, David Robb, is responsible for the Scarver. In what famous band was his brother the lead singer? Producer Logan, you got me on this one because we talked about it on a script. Oh my God, what was this? This was the weirdest thing. It was like some alt rock from the mid 2000s, alt rock band. It was like Three Doors Down or Nickelback or something like that. Christ, can we just take a moment? The Scarver, dude, is so ugly, bro. It's so ugly. Like, who in their right mind was like, yeah, this is a good look for a bike. Lord have mercy. Is it belt drive? That doesn't look like a chain on the back. It looks like a belt. Scarver fans, tune in. I'm gonna say Three Doors Down. I feel like that was the band. Chat, any U2, says Charles? I mean, it could have been U2. I don't know. Let's see. Oh my, it's even worse. David Robb's brother, Doug, is the lead vocalist and rhythm guitarist for the rock band Hubba Stank. What was that song they had? Is it My Only? Or The Only One? Something like that? Yeah, Hubba Stank, mid-2000s alt-rock band. I was on the right track, though. I was like, it was some, like, mid-2000s alt-rock band. So, that's pretty good. All right. Hey, look, there's my people here, dude. Look at this. Those are my guys, man. Look at that. We're one and the same. Look at that. Shen Young says, The Reason. That was the song, yeah. And the reason is you. Right? Who's with me? So these are my boys here. How many motorcycle manufacturers can you name that once made military implements, firearms, planes, military bikes, etc.? Hint, there are a lot. Ducati, BMW, Triumph. I feel like any of the European ones that existed through the world wars probably made stuff like that at the time. It could also be the Japanese, because I know that Kawasaki Heavy Industries, right? They certainly made military implements. I don't think Honda ever did. I don't think Suzuki ever did. It was something like that, you know. So I'm gonna say Kawasaki, BMW, Ducati, Kawasaki, BMW, Ducati, and Triumph. Okay, Kawasaki, BMW, Ducati, and Triumph. Royal Enfield's a good guess, Chris Brown says on chat. That's a good one. Royal Enfield should work. Okay, I'll add Royal Enfield on there too. Okay, let's see. Oh my God. All BMW, yeah, they made the planes. I did say that. There's no way I was going to get all these. BSA, Norton, Royal Enfield, Husqvarna, Benelli, Moto Guzzi, BMW, Kawasaki, MV Agusta, Harley Davidson, Indian, and Triumph. So I got like 5 of these. I think every one that I said was a manufacturer in here, but I missed like half of them. There's no way I was going to know. That's crazy. I did not know there were that many manufacturers that made military stuff. That's pretty nuts. And boys, that's it. Ended right at 3 o'clock. I had you perfectly for an hour. Your yam is timely, and I really do appreciate y'all checking out the stream today. A lot of fun. I look patently absurd wearing this. Hold on a sec. Oh, dude. This is so sick. I can't see a goddamn thing. Thank you so much for tuning into the chat today, boys. If I could read the chat, I would read off some stuff, but I took my glasses off, so that's just a giant blur to me over there. Truly do appreciate it. Thanks so much for checking out the stream. If y'all want to join up, hang out on a deeper level, the Discord is always there for you. I promise it's a good time. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Shane says, check the main chat in the Discord. I certainly will after the stream. Certainly will. Nurax says, looking baller. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Bye. Catch you next time. This was fun.